Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa. Today is Monday, and we just did an entire show without you. So I apologize. We got back from Westwoods. Hopefully, you guys saw if you're watching this on YouTube, you saw the thumbnail and got to see the great picture. We'll share that in the show. But Mame's waiting on the other side of this, so we'll be right back after this quick break. Give us a like, share this video, and we'll see you guys in the chat. Hi there. How are you? What a day. What a day. So we
This is funny.
time doing a cold call on the show today. We just went through the whole thing, so we'll go through it really quick again for everybody. Sorry guys, it's a Monday. Like I said, we had a long trip, 10 hours plus there and back to go see Westwood and the crew, everybody that showed up. I'm really grateful for. Let me pull up that picture. I put it on the thumbnail for the oh, now I just did something to my screen. Yeah, it's a Monday and I'm tired from our travel. We got back from Peoria and I've got a great picture from the class, from our crypto class, to share with everybody. I put on the thumbnail of the YouTube video. So if you guys are watching on there, you got to see a bunch of the fam there. We've got Pops and Polly P and a bunch of our friends here, and J Max popping in there, Soul's in there, Dawn from Frog Wallets. We've got Ken and the Vigilante couple there, the Coin Vigilante. They brought a lot of fun to the fam. There's Westwood and my friends and Blind Dave. My husband's around there somewhere, and some other, we're missing some people there. But anyway, great crew, great time. And we learned a lot. There were some other people that didn't want to be in the photo, but had some great questions. And we had a friend of mine who's an accountant there that we got to give some great coaching and some questions about crypto and kind of keeping track of things. And so we had a great time. Good stuff. This next month, one of the things JMac brought was the Oculus glasses that we are going to be not auctioning, but we're going to do a raffle for. And we'll have those tickets available online. I think we're going to use PayPal for that option so that even if you can't make it all the way to Florida for next week's or next month's trip, you can still have an opportunity to have to win those, and that's to be able to participate in that whole metaverse thing. And those are valued at like somewhere between $200 and $300. I think they're kind of expensive. So I really appreciate JMac donating those. We had a bunch of really cool things donated. We had a Ledger wallet, a Trezor, an EliPal. We had copper coins that Satoshi Sean had given us. We gave away a bunch of Monarch swag. We had just all kinds of stuff that was given away at the class, and plus a lot of knowledge from our buddy Clint Westwood, of course. So good stuff, good stuff. We are live this time, right, guys? Somebody give me a 5x5.
Let's make sure. No, I'm seeing Lisa. We've been live for 4 minutes and 40 seconds. So this time it is working.
I apologize.
You're doing amazing. It's okay, it happens to all of us, technical problems, you guys. So we are 1 hour late. We thought you guys we were having the show because the chat was so live right next to us that we thought it was actually on. And then
that's what a great community we have here is. Like, literally, you guys are talking to each other. We're not even on there. And then I'm sharing links about what we're talking about. And I'm like, oh, they're like, where's the link? And we're talking about a project in was that the El Salvador?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
El Salvador.
And
Yeah.
it was like in time with what we were talking about. So I'm like, yeah, look, participation from the chat. Oh, of course we're live, you know.
It's live, so there was no way we would have even understood that we weren't live. And today was basically, we are packed with news. So we have over 14 headlines to go over, and we started with El Salvador because we kind of have an exclusive video to showing the mining facility, and it was really exciting. So let's jump into El Salvador and start it again.
Yeah, should we start with that? Just let that video play while we kind of talk about the different articles?
Sure. The first article that we talked about was El Salvador president, Nayib, I don't know how to say his name, announced his plans to build a volcano-powered Bitcoin city. So Lisa had the newspaper in Spanish, the headline of the country. And I think partially, all this excitement evolving around El Salvador comes with the conference that El Salvador just hosted, a major Bitcoin conference, Latin American conference. And with it, we had a lot of interesting news. And the most interesting one is definitely the Bitcoin city. And I thought, for those who do not think it's possible, because when you think, oh, they are mining a volcano, and you're thinking, how is that possible? There was a friend of mine. I'm actually doing a show called Info Crypto with Katia. She's from Portugal. She's Portuguese speaking as well. Her channel is called Mundo Cripto Feminino, which is crypto world of crypto feminine world, kind of like that. And she had one of her friends going to the Bitcoin mining facilities in El Salvador. So you basically can see real footage of the whole facility there, where they capture the excess energy from the volcano, and they transform into renewable energy that is then used to electricity, which is then used to mine Bitcoin. And we showed highlights of this video here. When he speaks is actually in Portuguese, so you can't understand everything, but you do get a sense of what it is, how to walk into the factory and understand how things function. And it is possible. They are doing it. And while the gentleman is there, he is mentioning how he is the only Brazilian there, and this tour that he participated was full of German investors, German miners, German crypto enthusiasts. So the majority of the other tourists that were there with him were German, looking into learn this technology so they can probably reuse it as well, do something similar. So
yeah, and here's where they're explaining how.
Will go through the water that you see coming from these cooling towers. It brings the temperature down, and it goes back to re-injection back into the earth. We're going to be able to see the wells once we go up there, but right now, imagine this is coming from a few kilometers away, goes into the plant, generates electricity, and then we re-inject so that it reheats itself and the process is renewed. If there are any questions, feel free to stop us.
Yeah, so, and please do subscribe to Mundo Crypto Feminino. I'm not on this because that's my the one that she doesn't want me subscribed on that on my Safari.
No worries, honey. And the video goes beyond right there. What we watched is basically how they capture that energy, the excess steam, that comes from the volcano, which is, several kilometers away. And but then they go into each facility, and you get to see even the mining facility where they actually have the actual computers mining Bitcoin. And the country is putting a lot of resource into it, but this is resource that they would otherwise not use. And for them, using that surplus is bringing a lot of benefits, to the country in general. And I think that's really awesome, because
It's really awesome. Well, and you guys can find this. I put the link in the description of this video that you're watching right now. So the very first, if you guys go to the description of the video you're watching right now, it's the very first link in the top. So you guys can find that and you can share it, get that information out. And like I said, subscribe to her channel.
Yeah, I saw a comment here by Octaviano Tavares saying, it's crazy at first. I didn't believe it. I can't wait to see how they did it. And, this video kind of shows, because I think if you are an electrical engineer, someone that understands about power plants and how to use that resource, you probably will be able to draw some ideas just by looking at what they are doing in this footage. Maybe even if you don't understand Portuguese, you might enjoy this video, and it's exclusive. I don't think many people have taken a peek in there. It's a tour that it's open to the public, so maybe this will encourage other people to go ahead and take a look for themselves, because when it first comes out in a headline, it's really hard to believe, but then when you actually visit the facility and you're able to see the workers and the approach that they are using, and how clean the whole process actually is, then you feel like this is really exciting and a world of possibilities.
You know what this reminds me of? Remember when you were talking about your friends from school cataloging the resources of the Amazon in Brazil, and all of our countries have so many different natural resources. And if we're able to turn some of our natural resources, especially the renewable resources, like the energy off a volcano, or natural gas off of, oil and gas wells in America and around the world, then basically we are creating these renewable free energy. This is changing the world.
For sure. Like El Salvador will draw from a volcano because the volcano is its resource. Brazil, for example, we have incredible rivers and we are very strong in hydroelectrics. So maybe we can learn how to, use that excess energy and, mine cryptocurrencies for the people of Brazil as well with that excess energy. So, and sticking with El Salvador, because this is not the only news that came out. We know that El Salvador has been also placing large Bitcoin purchases regularly, and they just announced that they will be buying an additional $500 million worth of Bitcoin. So we saw that tendency started, not too long ago, since they adopted it as a legal tender. Even a little bit before that, they were already purchasing, and they keep on doing it. Even though they are producing it, they are still buying it.
Right. And what they're doing with this is then they're launching these bonds. So they're basically creating a treasury that's backed in Bitcoin.
Exactly. The other headline, which is the bonds, is that El Salvador to issue 1 billion in tokenized bonds on the Liquid network. So they are basically now getting this asset, that they have, and they are breaking down and tokenizing it and selling it on Liquid network. So it goes to show that they are taking full advantage of what blockchain is all about. They are now able to use smart contracts, and they are diving into different blockchains to be able to create a whole new structure for their the finances of that country, which is completely unique when you compare to any other country, because all the other countries have their own fiat, right? And this is something that they are using that is a global, permissionless, decentralized system that they are adopting.
Yeah, and we talked about this on our little preview, on our trial run, but this really goes to stabilizing the value or the way that we look at money or currency, because it's talking about our labor. Remember that money is really a store of our labor or our time. That's why we have money, is because we work and we need to put it in something to be able to use it and trade it later. And so this is going to equate money to a kilowatt or an amount of energy that comes out of that volcano. And that's going to stabilize Bitcoin. It's also going to stabilize the way we value that energy. And so it's going to, this word, when Octaviano says, I know the value, I'm a licensed electrician in Massachusetts, I know the value of electricity. We're going to really learn the value of electricity, and that's going to stabilize that. It's just, this is going to change everything and stabilize this. This frees the people. It gives people their labor back, because the government should never be holding our money or telling us because our money is our labor. We are not, our labor should never be held or managed by our government. Our labor should, because then we're slaves of our government, and the government, it's supposed to be of, for, and by the people. So
Sure.
This is really positive and exciting for people. And I mean, I think this is the movement to free people all over the world. It's very exciting.
For sure. And one thing we mentioned on the, previous episode, the
that you guys didn't see,
is that, I like that it's El Salvador, because El Salvador, it's a small country in Latin America, and it's, it's just doesn't have too much attention to it. It just doesn't jeopardizing anyone. It's just a nice way to experiment with it and see how it flourishes. And if it does, it could be an example to the world of how Bitcoin is a great alternative, for basically managing a country,
Definitely.
Love that.
Definitely. I think that was all of our El Salvador, right?
For sure. I think we covered really well. Should we go into the metaverse? So,
Yeah.
So the rush for a stake in the metaverse continues. The Wikilevel's twins crypto exchange Gemini will allocate $400 million in funding around into building a Gemini experience in the metaverse. So basically what they are doing is creating a whole new world, a Gemini world, into the metaverse, probably buying land in the central land and sandboxes, and maybe possibly other metaverses that we are not fully aware of, private ones. And we'll see this new transition. It must be something really unique, because it's a huge investment. $400 million to invest on something digital must be really unique.
So they're doing this in different metaverses. They're not necessarily creating their own metaverse.
I think.
Is that what you understand?
That's what I understood. I understood from the article is that it's basically probably going to create its own metaverse inside these metaverses, right? Okay. You need to have the main city. And it's funny, because I've been always trying to see what is attracting the majority of which metaverses are attracting who, right, at this point. And I see, like, from the beginning, I was diving into the sandbox and into the central land, and I noticed that really big players have been buying land in these metaverses. So you see big exchanges like Binance. They were probably one of the first ones to buy like generous size lands in these metaverses. So they are probably thinking, and it's interesting because people in the metaverse, they are concerned who you neighbor with, how big is your plot of land, you know. So, and Gemini is doing the same. They are just making sure that they have these lands, but with 400 million, not only they are buying the lands, but they are probably developing something. I think they may be now in the stage of let's create the experience. Now, do I know what this experience is going to be? I have no clue. It's going to surprise us. It's going to be interesting. I cannot wait to see what 2 years will bring in this realm. You know, we are going to be talking a lot, Lisa.
I know, it's amazing. And it seems to be just happening so fast. I mean, it's really developing quickly. It's all these, and I think that's what we talked about earlier, that all these on-ramps are already created. That's, I guess we can kind of jump to one of those stories too. In France, this Lydia, and I've got to find the article. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but
I'll read the headline.
Yeah, go ahead and I'll find it.
Soon, 5.5 million French will be able to buy and trade Bitcoin and Litecoin using the fintech Lydia mobile financial service super app. Basically, this super app, Lydia, which is probably the French version of our Vimo or Cash app, has teamed up with Bitpanda. And they are basically going to be offering Bitcoin and Litecoin to 5.5 million customers that use Lydia throughout France simultaneously, all at the same time. So looks like we may have another wave of adoption, very similar to when Robinhood or PayPal adopted, you know, Bitcoin and Litecoin. And so you opening doors to a whole new set of clientele that maybe that wasn't exposed or interested in cryptocurrencies before, and all of a sudden it's going to be very practical and easy for them to actually dive into it. So, and that's expected to happen in the next few days. This is you know, recent news. Not sure if
really just days away. And then there's also this other bank, I want to say this is in Australia.
Commonwealth is actually the first bank of Australia, and it's actually one of the most popular banks in Australia.
So there's all these on-ramps that are set and ready to go to onboard people to crypto. I mean, when this happens, that when they talk about the, you know, the mass adoption curve, and, you know, we've all been here and in the bear market the last 3 years, and it feels like, oh, we've had, you know, 2-3% of people in crypto as far as worldwide for so long. When this thing turns, because it's not dependent on, and also because it's not dependent on a hardware point of sale for adoption, people don't have to go buy a TV or even buy a phone. It's just a software issue, and all these on-ramps are already opening and in existence. It's going to happen like that. It could happen within hours. It could happen, I mean, days is probably being a conservative kind of way to look at it, because the information that's happening out there with, you know, how poorly Afghanistan was handled, and then they've frozen all the assets of Afghanistan because the Taliban is in control, and now the Taliban is asking the U.S. to, you know, let go of those because they're in financial trouble and the country is about to go bankrupt. And the U.S. is warning about that. And so they're talking about their banks failing within days. Like, all of this is about to go down pretty quickly. And when it does, the people, they're trying to stop run on the banks, you know, and people have these bridges now to do something else. So I'm just grateful that there's bridges, there's lifeboats for the people, because in the past there weren't, and the people were the one that suffered. So I'm grateful for the leadership of the El Salvadoran president, and I'm grateful that there's things like Bitcoin to help the people now. So
Yeah. And I always encourage people because people will get to know, maybe they'll get exposed to cryptocurrencies through Lydia, or maybe they'll get exposed to cryptocurrencies through PayPal, or maybe they'll get exposed through their own bank as they send a Commonwealth letter mentioning, hey, now you can buy Litecoin and store it with us, or something like that, which they did a week ago. But the most important thing is to learn how to have control and ownership of your money, because if you maintain your Bitcoin on PayPal, if you maintain your Bitcoin on a bank, or if you maintain those, have the custody of somebody else, unfortunately, they'll still be able to freeze your funds in the future. So the most important thing is the control. You have this control ability, you can finally rest, feeling safe that your money is with you. You can travel internationally carrying your money with you on a device. It's not on somebody else's possession. So I love the fact that we're getting crypto adoption, but I do feel that none of those entities will encourage you to actually gain control of your money and actually withdraw. They probably somehow want you to maintain your funds there. And I do think that would leave us taking the same risk as we do with cash, with money in the bank. And hopefully people will will maintain, and will try to educate as much as possible. I tell people a lot of the time, a lot of my friends that are new to cryptocurrencies and have, all of their assets on an exchange. And I say, think about what you want to sell now and what you don't. Maybe you want to secure a step further, because on an exchange, unfortunately, it can be dangerous. And
that's like I'm showing here they were announcing this. You can buy, sell, and hold the crypto on PayPal, but you can't remove it.
You
and
can't
that's
withdraw.
kind of one of those, you can't withdraw. And that's one of those things like I don't want to ever, you're basically buying them crypto.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah,
you truly gonna have to withdraw just cash. Okay, you can use them as a custodial bank account, but how much do you want to leave there? And you want to be careful with your funds. And here it says that PayPal since you mentioned PayPal, I'm gonna bring this one up.
Sure.
PayPal upgrades app to buy, sell, and use crypto to check out with merchant. So right now, I love that at least they gave this ability. Okay, you cannot withdraw to your custodial wallet, let's say a phone wallet or a ledger or any type of hardware wallet or device that you want to withdraw, or even a paper wallet. However, they are allowing you to go shopping with it. So if you actually go shopping and want to pay with your PayPal account, all of a sudden now you can choose to pay with your cash account or your crypto account or your Bitcoin account or your Litecoin account. So that gives you a little bit more room, because let's say you invested on a day that it's lower priced, and then you saw it gained some value, and you would like to spend some of that excess value that you gained. Now you can through PayPal. Before, your only alternative was to sell back to cash to be able to transfer into your bank account. I understand the reasons why maybe they are not allowing people to withdraw, at least for now. Hopefully they will allow it in the future, right? The same way you can transfer your money from your bank account in and out of PayPal, you should be able to transfer your crypto in and out of PayPal as well. But with crypto comes responsibility, so it is important that you learn a few steps before you get to do that. Sure.
Definitely. I was excited and wanted to make sure you saw this, because your home country of Brazil was considering releasing a law to allow all workers to be paid in Bitcoin. So I thought that was another positive thing. We're seeing more and more adoption everywhere, and that's another thing that's really, really great and exciting for people of Brazil.
I heard about that as well. It would be great. I think it's a field that is going to continue to grow, which will be Bitcoin payments, right? And cryptocurrency payments in general. A lot of us getting so embedded into the new system that it's almost getting hard to deal with the old system. and we have that the athlete right here.
Yeah,
For example, NFL American athlete, which have, I thought that was a little bit of a risky approach of choosing 100% of his paycheck to be paid in Bitcoin, because I do think of volatility. And of course, that's always a concern, right? Especially in the bull market, you don't want to get paid and then it devalues 80% the next day. That would be horrible. But
as long as you never sell. I do think it's interesting though, like depending on what day you got paid, how can you negotiate that with, or what time of day? I don't know. I think that would be really interesting, just like you said, with the volatility of.
It doesn't work like that, Lisa. I'll be honest with you, because I'm not going to lie. I have received some crypto payments, and, there are times that it's really fun and exciting. You receive it and it goes up and you're like, yeah, capital gains on top of it. But then there are times that you're like, okay, I got paid today and were you kidding me? Dropped this much. So it is, you got to be more attentive if you don't want to deal with volatility. If you're more squeezed like I am and you need the money, you definitely want to be prepared to withdraw as fast as possible if you don't want to deal with the volatility too. But, he is a rich guy, and I'm sure he can
sit on it for over a year and then he won't have capital gains. Yeah.
Exactly. He can just enjoy, and kudos to him. And I do think that more and more we're going to start seeing a crypto economy being developed, and we're going to start seeing prices less in dollars and more in crypto.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely. Well, and we talked about that a little bit with how BitPay, lists everything in Satoshis, and how then I guess we had talked about this article, how Sotheby's, that Sotheby's article was accepting ETH for the first time for the Banksy, because, he's really famous, anonymous political artist. And you had looked into this article a little bit more.
I loved it because this is for the first time that a major institution, right, auction house, decides to accept Ethereum as, for physical items. So I was talking to Lisa a little earlier today because I thought that was amazing, because in the beginning, when I first went to OpenSea and Readable and Mintable to look into NFTs, I used to see the prices in Ethereum, and it was very confusing to me. Just like when you travel to a different country and you first get there and you think in dollars, and all of a sudden you have to think in a different currency. When you look at let's say you're buying a purse, you don't know if it's expensive or not. You kind of have to always convert, right? Because your mindset is in a currency. But over time, you start becoming very comfortable with the numbers. 1 Ethereum is this much, half an Ethereum is this much, and a quarter Ethereum is this much, and your brain starts making sense of it. And now I go on OpenSea and I look at the prices in Ethereum, and I can gauge really well the price range just looking at it. And I think this is happening. The art world, the digital art world now is transitioning into the physical one. And now some of the collectors that are, they have their wallets, they are buying digital all the time, and they want to spend in Ethereum. So because they are thinking in Ethereum, and therefore the world is adapting it and it's pricing it in Ethereum for them,
Do you think that that Sotheby's chose to accept Ethereum because the NFTs were started and mostly on Ethereum. And then can you talk a little bit about what you're doing about teaching people how to mint NFTs and the classes? And does that make sense? Is that why they chose to accept Ethereum and over Bitcoin or Litecoin? Or
For sure.
okay,
Look,
I'm curious.
if this is a large article, right? If I sold my Ethereum, I would have to pay capital gains and all sort of taxes and things, right? This, when you're doing a transaction, he's doing a transaction direct, you know, it's much easier. And it's just like how your mindset starts to change. All of a sudden, you have a huge marketplace. You have billions of dollars being transacted in Ethereum, and it's all artwork. And of course, some of that money is gonna bleed into physical pieces too. If they don't offer Ethereum, maybe they will lose a sale because someone doesn't want to go through the trouble of converting their Ethereum on, you know, sending to an exchange, selling it, you know, and then converting, losing their money, paying fees, and then buying the artwork. They want it fast. People want to be able to just spend and purchase and invest. So, and in my case, I feel like this world is a little bit complex, and Ethereum is definitely becoming, because Ethereum was the first blockchain, and it's mainly the one being used the most to sell fine art pieces and fine pieces of digital art. So I do think that Ethereum is becoming an art currency. You know, it's becoming the one people are picking, at least for the moment, to price their artwork. Although there are other blockchains like Wax, Engine, many other blockchains, but Ethereum is standing out. I'm not sure because of the volume of Ethereum, because it's highly valued, it's easy to price. One Ethereum, $4,000. It's, you know, it's easy to break down in your brain. And right now what I'm doing is I'm teaching people. I created a course that is basically going to help anyone understand what an NFT is, which type of wallets you can use to mint an NFT on a Ethereum blockchain, which marketplaces you use to actually sell those pieces that you minted. It's basically going to give you like a one-on-one course on how to mint an NFT on the Ethereum blockchain. And just like that basic knowledge that you need to understand the core of the technology, because the technology is really, really simple. You know, the trick is the fact that I can send a digital item to you without reproducing it, without making a copy, you know. Outside of that, there isn't much to learn, but how you gonna find your groove in the industry. So
very interesting. That really hit me when we were walking back through it. And after you talking about doing the classes and why you chose to teach the class, using Ethereum. And I know we have things like Polygon, which can help. You know, it's not the Ethereum killer. They are Matic, as the ticker, but they really want to, lower the fees, but keep the Ethereum network because there's so much built on that platform. But it is the art or the NFT kind of platform. So it just made a lot of sense to me.
In my course, because the market, you got to see like this is an evolving technology and things are changing really fast. In the beginning, to be able to sell your artwork, you had to mint. But now you can actually create and display a collection without spending any Ethereum, and just the buyer will mint the artwork when the actual purchase happens. So nowadays, a lot of people think, I'm not gonna display my work because it's too expensive to mint, but you could still showcase your work without actually spending any money. And in this course, I teach that as well.
That was interesting too. Yeah. This was one we didn't touch on, but since we're talking about Ethereum so much, I wanted to just kind of pop this up there. Time Magazine is to hold Ethereum on its balance sheet following a partnership with Galaxy Digital. So that was kind of a little extra, just more information about Ethereum. So
yeah, and this is more metaverse related, Galaxy, if I'm not mistaken, is all related to metaverse and this whole new realm of possibilities that is open up, and everybody's curious to see what's going to happen next. And I think Time Magazine is, they want to record it, they want to make sure they are at least trying to understand it.
Yeah. Well, and the metaverse is all about NFTs because it's all about having that documentation of ownership of something not tangible. So interesting. Should we hit on anything else? I think we've covered most everything.
We did. We summarized it well, Lisa.
Yes, I think so. There's a couple other things.
Twice every day.
Yeah. I think we got most of it. Thanks for being patient with me on that. I apologize.
We did. We covered it in a more concise and organized way, since we had to do it twice today, everyone. We promise you next time we're gonna be more attentive, and I'm gonna watch the
time thing. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And we'll try not to be late. We thank everyone for coming too.
Yes, thanks everybody in the community there in the chat for jumping in. I just can't believe they were so active that I was like, and then just following along. He's like, oh yeah, where's the link? Oh, I'm like, oh yeah, they're right along.
If you don't see us in 5 minutes, shoot us a message. And
what a day!
Honest with you guys, this is the second time we do this, but we are on our 64th stream, so it's
it? Wow.
It's like a lot.
That's a lot.
Years, honey. Time is passing.
That's a lot. Well, let me know if you're thinking about coming to Florida, because I'm getting ready to book the Airbnb, and I'm trying to decide how many rooms to get.
You know what? Let's see if I can fit in this NFT course in there. And who knows? I think, that might be an idea, honey.
That would be a lot of fun. So let me know, because I'm getting ready to book it. I've got to get it done this week because it's just going to be here so fast.
Well, let me talk to the family, because that would be something fun that maybe even I can take the crew here, and we can also, my little one gets off school on the 16th. So that could be, we are looking to taking a family trip as well.
Yeah.
Maybe we can coordinate the two.
Because it's the 17th and the 18th in St. Petersburg, Florida. And we're going to be at the Hangar restaurant. All the details are at clintwestwood.net. And then we'll have the class on Saturday, the 18th. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Miriam Haneen, she's on John Claude's channel a lot. She's a dear friend, and she's going to come and wants to speak about some things that are near and dear to her heart. So she'll be attending the happy hour, and then also probably come to the class and speak about some few things with that. And then Snippy's talking about coming. I jumped on a live stream with him and Jean-Claude and the Woo Woo Dude. And he just lives over in the Tampa area. And then my friend Jenny Constantine, or Jenny Moonstone, Bix's friend, she lives in the Miami area. And hopefully I was talking with Kenny Bozak and Rice the other night, and on Rice's channel, and they might come down as well. So we could have like a really big fun crew.
Yeah, I have so many friends in Miami too, that if I come, I think we'll make it a super fun. I'm actually excited to just go down and tell my husband, let's plan. So I have a feeling we may, Lisa.
Okay. All right. Well, it'll be a lot of fun. So, all right, everybody, we hope to see you there as well. And like I said, we'll be doing that online raffle for those Oculus. So look for that. We'll launch that. I'll have it figured out by Friday and have JMac on, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow on the new normal. I'll have my buddy Satoshi Sean on, and see you guys then. Thank you, Mame, for hanging in there for round 2.
No
Take
problem.
care, guys.
Thank you. Have a good one. Great week, everyone. Bye-bye.
Are you buying and selling cryptos on the same laptop that you're using to browse the internet, read your email, and visit social media sites? If so, you're exposing your cryptos to theft. Whenever you're online, you're at risk of getting hacked and having your identity stolen. How would you feel if someone stole all of your cryptos? What would that do to your finances? Guard your cryptos with a safe and secure laptop from Calyx Solutions. Each laptop is set up just for you and your cryptos, and then we walk you through exactly how it works. Don't risk the security of your cryptos. Order a crypto laptop from Calyx Solutions now to secure your crypto future. Learn more at calyxsolutions.io.